This man's idea made China release millions of rabbits into the desert. What happened next left everyone shocked. This is the Kabuki Desert, China's 7th largest, stretching over 7,200 square miles. Once fertile farmland dotted with rivers and villages, Kabuki was consumed by wind and drought. By the mid-20th century, sandstorms buried entire communities. The government tried everything: windbreak forests, wells, grazing bans, but nothing stopped the advancing dunes. Then came Wang Wenbiao, a man who turned hopeless sand into thriving land using an idea that sounded insane at first. He released millions of rabbits into a desert. Wang wasn't a scientist or a tycoon. He was a poor teacher from Inner Mongolia who, starting in 1988 with a small salt company, poured every penny into an impossible mission to fight the desert with life. He began by planting willows, trees known for their deep roots that can reach underground water and hold the shifting sand in place. Over the years, he and his team planted more than 300 million willow trees across Kabuki, building the foundation for a new ecosystem. But Wang's boldest move came next. Instead of relying solely on machines or chemicals, he introduced over 4 million French-bred Rex rabbits into the desert. It sounded absurd. How could rabbits survive where even grass struggled to grow? Yet Wang had a plan. Rex rabbits, known as the white gold of the fur industry, are tough, low-maintenance animals. They drink little water, eat dry grass, and can reproduce rapidly, up to 300 kits annually per female. Their fur sells for about $30, while raising one costs just $2. But Wang didn't release them aimlessly. He built closed-loop eco-farms where every part of the animal was used: meat for food, fur for clothing, organs for medicine, and most importantly, their manure for soil restoration. Rabbit droppings turned out to be nature's perfect fertilizer, rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, the very nutrients desert sand lacks. Even more remarkable, Rex rabbits can't digest grass seeds. Each time they left droppings, they unknowingly planted new life, seeds wrapped in natural fertilizer ready to sprout with the next rain. The rabbits thrived under the shade of the willows, feeding on young shoots while their waste nourished the soil. The willows, in turn, stabilized the dunes, creating a cycle of life where trees fed rabbits, rabbits fed the earth, and the earth supported more trees. Scientists later estimated that each acre of this willow rabbit system could produce over 5 tons of organic soil per year, turning sand into farmland within just 5 years. The transformation was stunning. Within a decade, over 1,400 square miles of barren land had turned green. Wind speeds dropped by 90%, and sandstorms that once buried villages now stopped at the edge of the growing forests. Villagers who had fled decades earlier began returning home. Economically, the impact was just as massive. The rabbits created an industry worth hundreds of millions of yuan, lifting over 10,000 families out of poverty. From a local experiment, Kabuki evolved into a national model for ecological wealth. But Wang didn't stop there. He built the Junma Solar Power Plant, a massive sea of 196,000 solar panels shaped like a galloping horse. Each year, it generates 2.3 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity, enough to power 400,000 homes. The panels not only produce clean energy, but also shield the ground, allowing grass and crops to grow beneath them. Rabbits and sheep graze under the panels, creating an ecosystem powered by sunlight. By 2022, this solar oasis had cut 1.85 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions, the equivalent of planting 80 million trees. The surrounding land, once called the Dead Sea, is now lush and alive. Wildlife returned too. Deer, desert foxes, and migratory birds have quadrupled since 1990. Groundwater levels have risen by up to 6 feet, and over 100 native plant species have reappeared. The desert, once described as lifeless, now smells of soil after rain. Still, the miracle isn't without debate. Some experts argue that rabbits play only a symbolic role, crediting large-scale investment and technology instead. Others warn that excess manure could cause nitrogen pollution if unmanaged. Yet, despite controversy, the world took notice. In 2011, the United Nations named Kabuki a global model for desertification control. By 2019, it became an official global demonstration zone for sustainable land restoration. Today, the Kabuki model inspires projects in Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. And to think, it all began with a teacher who decided to make the desert pay rent.